Hello everyone. Today we shall be discussing about energy resources. That it will be our last portion of unit 2. Okay. So under energy resources we shall be learning about renewable and non-renewable energy resources, use and importance of alternative energy resources. Okay. So let's begin. So renewable and non-renewable energy sources. So what are the basic difference between these two? Renewable energy resources are those resources which can be renewed or reused. Okay. They can be used time and again. Okay, they are naturally replenished and they are mostly found in the atmosphere. They are also known as virtually inexhaustible resources. Okay, the examples of renewable energy resources are sunlight, wind, rain, tides, geothermal heat, etc. Non-renewable energy resources are limited and cannot be naturally replenished. Okay, they get exhausted if exploited, that is overexploited. Okay, they are also known as exhaustible resources, and the example of non-renewable energy resources are coal, petroleum, natural gas, nuclear energy, etc. What are the differences between these two? First and foremost, renewable resources are found in the atmosphere, okay, while the non-renewable energy resources are found deep in the underground. Okay, they are typically found in underground layers of the earth. Their renewable resources are replaced by nature or replenished by the nature, while the non-renewable resources are not. Renewable energy resources are virtually inexhaustible and are abundant in nature, whereas non-renewable energy resources are scarce and get exhausted if overused. The resources are obtained very easily and are available at free of cost or at very low cost in case of renewable energy resources, whereas in case of the non-renewable energy resources, they are very costly and are not obtained easily. Like we have to mine, we have to dig the ground, right, and then we have to extract, then removing process is there, refining process is there, etc. And the last one, they do not affect the environment. Which one? The renewable energy resources, they are environment friendly. Okay, they are cheap. Okay, and by environment friendly we means that they do not release any source of harmful pollutants. Okay, whereas the non-renewable energy resources, they seriously affect the environment, like emission of various greenhouse gases, polluting the land, water, etc. Okay, so here comes the question, do we have any alternative option? Yes, we do have. We have the option of alternative energy resources. As per example, so what this alternative energy resources basically mean? They are basically, simply it means it is any sort of energy resources which is alternative to the fossil fuel. Okay, that means which is alternative to those pollute releasing energy sources. Okay, as for example, the marine energy, hydroelectric, wind, geothermal and solar power are all alternative sources of energy. These alternatives are intended to address the concern about the non-renewable exhaustible resources, isn't it? Fossil fuels, for its high carbon dioxide emissions, we know carbon dioxide is a major greenhouse gas, right? And which is mostly emitted by the fossil fuels, a type of non-renewable energy resource. So we need to find an alternative for that, isn't it? So the alternative energy tends to minimize the impact generated from the products of non-renewable resources so as to maintain a balance in nature. Okay, like if there is no harmful pollutant getting emitted in the environment, obviously our environment will remain in a balanced condition, isn't it? Right? Now, what are the existing type of alternative energy resources? First is your hydro energy, that is the energy obtained from by the action of water, and a turbine and electric generator. Okay, so the impact of the falling, what happens in the impact of the falling water is captured and electricity is generated, right, through the use of water turbines and generators. Okay, and we know there's abundant amount of water, just we need to catch the flow from upstream to downstream. Okay, there's a diagram, you can have a reference to it. Okay, next is your nuclear energy, that is the energy stored in atomic bonds of heavy element is obtained as a result of nuclear fission. Okay, what do you mean by nuclear fission? That is breaking of this bonds. Suppose you have a big stone, it is breaking down into small pebbles. Okay, in the process of breaking down, it used to release energy, and that energy is being utilized, okay, for various purposes. Third is your wind energy. As I hope you might have seen this wind turbines, okay, windmills somewhere in the pictures or somewhere else. So what happens when the wind flows, okay, then the turbines, it moves, okay, and there is a rotator which is connected to a electric generator, okay, and then electricity is produced. Now, solar energy, as we all know, solar energy, we have seen also various solar plates or panels or solar street lights, okay, in our locality and some other areas as well, mostly in the rural areas. So, in solar energy, the light energy from the sunlight is utilized to convert it into thermal or heat energy or directly into electricity via photovoltaic devices, okay. Geothermal energy, these are the energy which comes from the earth's internal part, okay, that means through the steam released from the fissures, okay, because of the molten magma which is very much hot, okay, in the deep inside the earth, okay. So geothermal energy, the utilization of earth's internal heat commonly found in geothermal geysers to generate electricity, okay. That steam is made to fall on a turbine, and the turbine is then connected with an electric generator which generates electricity, okay. Now, biofuel and ethanol, this is a very good alternative for present day vehicles, okay. As we know, the vehicles mostly run on the diesel and petrol, right, petrol fuels, so thereby releasing various amount of harmful gases in the atmosphere. So instead of that, if we use this biofuel and ethanol, then it will be a very much eco-friendly. And the seventh one is your hydrogen, okay. It is used as a carrier of energy produced by various technologies such as cracking of hydrocarbon or water electrolysis, and are used for propelling rocket engines and other space flights. Most of you might have heard that the vehicles are being run now by hydrogen gases, right? So how these hydrogen gases, they are very good amount of trapper of the heat energy, okay, which then through various processes they used to make the car run, okay. So here there are few pictures which are placed in this slide just to have a referential view of it, okay. That means how the geothermal energy, how it is working, then how the thermal nuclear power plant works, how the windmill works, okay, how the solar panel works, etc. You can pause the video and you can go through this. Alternative resources are important because of the following resources, okay. Alternative energy resources are important because of the following reasons. So environmental impacts, first and foremost, fossil fuel takes millions of years to form and only seconds to be utilized, isn't it? That means we know that the fossil fuels takes a much longer time to generate or to be formed, okay, rather than to be utilized, right? So when fossil fuels are burned, they emit carbon, and which traps the earth's heat, isn't it? We know it. So see, this fossil fuel, they first and foremost, it is very much time consuming, it is very much costly, and it is very much unfriendly to the environment, isn't it? So for that reason, we need to find some alternative resource, we need to use some alternative energy resources, isn't it? Then the harmful gases in turn create concern about the growth and survival of various living organisms invading the planet. Obviously, we know that any living organisms, they need optimal temperature to sustain their life, okay. On the other hand, we need an very optimal parameters to sustain our life. So this sort of pollutant emissions, okay, impairs the balance of the environment, thereby hampering the sustenance of living organism, okay. The conventional source of energy is not only costly, like I said, the coal and petroleum, as you know, these are very much costly in nature, okay. It drastically affects the environment in several ways, such as climatic imbalance, ozone layer depletion, right, which you can see here in this picture, okay. That blue zone is the depleted zone of ozone in our atmosphere. Corrosive effects, like you might have seen the Taj Mahal, it is turned into earlier it was pure white in color, okay, Sangmarmar made up of marble stone, right, and after that, due to the acid rain, etc., it has got corroded, okay. There we can see some light brownish color, okay, in the monuments. So loss of biodiversity, obviously, like I said, if there is no optimal conditions for the growth and sustenance of living organisms, that means they will be extincting from the atmosphere or from the earth, isn't it? Okay, so in this regard, the biodiversity will also be affected, occurrence of epidemic diseases, loss of life and property, etc. So alternative sources of energy tend to minimize these unfavorable pathetic outcomes, okay. So we know, as of now, we know the alternative source of energy are low or free of cost, and they do not pollute the environment, isn't it? They do not release any harmful pollutants in the environment, okay. Second is your health impacts. So we know various environmental impacts. Okay, it's directly related with the health impacts. Okay, as for example, you can see here it's written Minamata disaster. Okay, it is a disaster in which company released mercury. Okay, in a huge amount in the water, methyl mercury in huge amount in the water, and then the fish they intook that water. Okay, and then the people who intook that fish, they suffered a very pathetic condition which is known as Minamata disaster disease. Okay, and in this what happens, the fingers these are it bent. Okay, they're found to be bending, and mostly it affects the neurological system. Okay, so you can see in the picture right at the top corner. Then occupational health hazards, like various occupational health hazards, anthracosis, those working in the coal industry, silicosis, biocenosis, bagasosis, etc. Okay, these are various type of health issues related to the particular factories. Okay. Okay, disease outbreaks, which includes a number of waterborne diseases like cholera, dysentery, typhoid, etc. Ozone layer depletion, as we have seen earlier in the previous slide. Suspended particulate matter generation. Okay, these are very minute size particles which affects our respiratory system. Okay, and many more due to the polluted environment. Abnormal change in the environment directly or indirectly affects the health and lives of living organisms, right, inhibiting and dependent both on the land and water, right, for sustaining their lives, isn't it? So the use of DDT is a very typical example in this regard. DDT is known to have a very good pesticidic effect, right? Hence they were being used in abundant in the agricultural world, and also more in earlier before knowing the side effects of DDT, people used to apply the smoke of DDT, okay, upon themselves, okay, to get rid of any sort of pests. Okay, mostly the farmers working in the farms, they used to do it. So later on, it was found that the DDT, upon being washed away from the agricultural fields, it goes into the water river system, and there the fishes intake the bioaccumulation occurs in the fish, right? And then the fish, when intook by the birds, aquatic birds, the aquatic birds upon producing the eggs, it was found to be having a very thin calcareous cell. Okay, normally the egg of the bird shell is highly calcareous. Okay, but that is very hard, but due to the accumulation of DDT, okay, it affects with the chemical of the chemistry of the egg shell, thereby loosening it, and when the bird lays the egg, it breaks. Okay, thereby decreasing the population of the aquatic birds. Okay, so next is it is estimated that over 7 million people die every year from pollution due to vehicular and industrial emission, isn't it? We know many people are using vehicles, many industries have been set up, and after the advent of industrialization only, many pollutions occurred in our earth. Okay, isn't it? Like, let me give you a very simple example. If you need to set up an industry, okay, what you will have to do? First, you have to clear the forest area. Okay, or you have to clear the land, isn't it? That means you are contributing your part for deforestation, and if you cut down the trees, obviously various ecological cycle will be disturbed. Okay, the climatic cycle will be disturbed. And then suppose the industry has been set up, okay, it will be utilizing various sort of chemicals which they will be releasing, the waste product they will be releasing in the water bodies, affecting the water, and mostly the chemicals are sprayed in the land, right, and or nearby area, which will affect the land, right, in this way. And the smokes, the harmful gases which they release, goes directly into the atmosphere. That means overall, if we are to relate it with the tree and the industry, these two things, then the tree is very beneficial for us. It's giving only the positive aspects, isn't it? Whereas the environment, in equal amount or in equal quantity, hypothetically we can say, it is giving the negative impacts to our environment. Okay, so mostly the vehicular and industrial emissions, they pollute the environment very drastically, and it also affects our health. The emission of harmful substances from coal, mercury, lead industries, etc. has shown to affect the living organisms both physically and psychologically. Obviously, if you are ill, your psychology is also affected. You won't feel good, you won't feel to work, you won't feel to communicate well with others. Okay. The alternative source of energy in this regard will be a boon in reducing such health hazard, isn't it? So if there is no pollution, no emission of any harmful dust particles, no noise pollution, etc., then what will happen? Our mentally, physically will be satisfied, okay, and it will calm our health as well. So if there is any queries, this was a very short topic and it's mostly easy. I have presented you with lots of pictorial representations. I hope it will be very much clear and easy to you. Okay, just go through all these slides. Okay, and in case you have any queries, then you may contact me. So that's all for today, and thank you.